Caught in a bad romance. Well, I don't know what air fresheners have got in them toilets, but it sent me a bit gaga. But I have got this sort of problem. There is a bit of a corny thing here. I am stuck in a bad romance. I've got this love obsession with music and humour. It's kind of like a love triangle. Husband's down there looking very worried, legally. This is not Jerry Springer, live at Costa. No, this is my love romance with music and humour. To start with, humour. She's a right laugh at me. Sometimes I laugh with her, but not that often. She's been telling me all these weeks. I've been preparing myself and reciting it. Some of my friends know the stuff off by heart. They could have stood in for me. But she's been saying in my head all these weeks, you'll be fine, you'll be fine, you'll be okay, you're all right, they're nice people, they'll be okay. Now, as soon as I stood up, she's screaming, run for your life. In these shoes, I'm not running anywhere, am I?
She can run.
I can run.
Even in them shoes.
She can.
But sometimes I have trouble walking, and it's not the shoes. And the shaking, that's not nerves. I've got Parkinsons disease, very young Parkinson's disease, I might add. This face is quite young under here. Just going back a bit, I'll take my hat off and introduce you properly to humour and music. Humour is the little girl inside me that giggles hysterically when things aren't funny, just to cheer me up. Music, in my mind, is a guy, a bloke, with a deep voice. He might get a round of applause. No?
Thank you very much.
So, he did introduce me properly, read it off the script. It did say Parkinson's disease, not personality disorder. The voices aren't real, they're just my creative way. And I've got really wobbly. So, music and humour. I tend to keep them under my hat, because before I was diagnosed, it took me 3 years to get diagnosed, and they kept telling me it wasn't Parkinson's. They didn't know what it was, but it wasn't that. They packed me off to mental health twice. Twice I returned, still with my little friends under my hat. I blame the NHS, government cutbacks and all that. Multiple personalities, a bit expensive, aren't they? My husband should know, he picks up the bill. I buy 3 dresses when I only need one. I can't decide who will have to be this night. But yeah, personality versus Parkinson's. When it started, I was really frightened. Music's interrupting. At first I was afraid. I was petrified. Kept thinking I could never live with this disease inside. But then I spent so many nights praying, oh, my heart grows strong. And you know, the Lord told me I'd go on. And so I'm back. Just watch this space. 'Cause I give all my glory to our God. You know I know his faith. And through this, I know I can survive. And I can do more than survive. I can live life to the full. I have my bad days. I have, most mornings I can't walk till I've took my tablets. 3 or 4 times a day, my tablets wear off. And I get very shaky and very stiff. I struggle to look after my 2-year-old son. And my big boys help me a lot. So it is hard. With a little help from your friends and family, you get through. And I'm sure the band could sing this better than I do, because they're the professionals. But quite often, when you're in bad, dire straits, you say, help. Somebody help. Won't you please help me? And when I sing, the cat cries, the shove a bucket over my head, and everybody helps me just to shut me up.
Yay.
So, I was 26 when I first got Parkinson's disease. I already had my 3 children, and we decided to have another little boy. Lots of people told me, you know, is this a good idea? Do you really think you should be? Yes, I did. Everybody told me to go for life. Go for what you want to do, don't let it stop you. But when it comes to having another baby, they weren't so sure. But I knew that God was on my side. My testimony is really about the friend that we all really need. The one friend that's always with you and always backs you. Even when you're going down the wrong path or you don't feel like you're on the right path. Sometimes you are, sometimes you're not. But he's always there with you. This friend is Jesus. And he, I can depend on. And he never gets me wrong. Unlike some of my other friends. You know, when you've got a serious illness, they know your character. This one in particular. They know you really well. They know your independent nature. I was so independent before I got poorly. They take me to pubs nowadays, and when we get there, they think that you're independent all the time. And I may be, but I can't be all the time. And they park in the furthest car park in space, away from the doors, just so that you feel a sense of achievement. Not always. So, to illustrate this, this is a snippet of my life with Parkinson's. I'm at the doors. I know I've got to go through the doors and I've got to make my way to the bar. And it's going to be slow. Now it's no slow, swanky, hips-moving walk. At the bar, Marilyn Monroe style, can I have a glass of champagne, please? No. Let me illustrate. It's more like Thunderbirds! Oh, go! When them doors open, I have to go in a straight line. I'll have to take the microwave in my hands, because this is how I shuffle. Thank you, lady! Or Parker, is it? You're allowed to laugh, it's fine. Ruby does it all the time. So we get to the pub, and I look absolutely K-eyed. I'm swaggering all over the place, I'm slurring my words. I hump myself on the bar. I sound like that bloke that brings me late at night. Don't tell my husband. So out of breath. And then I mumble some contraption of words, because my speech is affected, and my muscles in my mouth are affected. And I say something like this. Can I have 2 packets of lager and a pint of crisps? And they look at me, what? Is she on drugs? No, I've got Parkinson's. Read about it, there's leaflets everywhere. Wrapping it up a bit, my big God brings me through. Now I'm not very big without the shoes. I'm about 5 foot and I weigh about as much as a bag of sugar soaking wet. But I have a big God. I'm not a big girl in a big world. I've got a big God who will lead me. And I do know that he loves you much. He loves you much. That's right. Shaky and I need my pill. Shall I do 1-1? Yeah, I'll do 1-1. The doctor said I'm gonna get quite ill. I said you can do 1-1. You can do 1-1. It's mine. And my body's gonna be fine. And I'm just waiting for him to heal me one day. And I just keep waiting, because it is going to happen.